Imagine standing in the Arabian desert over 400 years ago. There are no telescopes, no satellites, no microscopes, and no modern science. Yet in this world, a man known for being truthful and unable to read or write begins, reciting words that would change history forever. That man was Prophet Muhammad. Muslims believe the Qur'an is the direct word of Allah, revealed over 23 years. It is not a book of science. Its purpose is to guide humanity toward truth, justice, mercy, and faith. Yet many people are amazed that some verses seem consistent with discoveries made centuries later. The Qur'an repeatedly challenges people to think. It asks, will they not reflect? Instead of asking for blind belief, it encourages people to observe the universe, the earth, the oceans, the mountains, and even themselves. Allah says, we will show them our signs in the horizons and within themselves, until it becomes clear to them that it is the truth. One of the most discussed verses says, and the heaven we constructed with strength, and indeed we are expanding it. For centuries, people believed the universe was fixed. In the 20th century, astronomers discovered that galaxies are moving away from one another, and that the universe is expanding. Many Muslims see this as a remarkable verse that encourages reflection. Another example is the creation of human life. The Qur'an describes stages of development, beginning from a tiny drop, then a clinging stage, followed by further stages before birth. Today, modern embryology shows that human development takes place through distinct stages. While the Qur'an is not a medical textbook, many believers find these descriptions extraordinary for a book. Revealed in the 7th century, the Qur'an continues to invite us to ask a simple question. Could these signs simply be coincidence, or are they reminders from the Creator for those willing to reflect? Now think about the mountains. To the human eye, they appear to be giant rocks rising above the ground. But the Qur'an describes mountains as pegs. Today, geologists have found that many mountain ranges extend deep beneath the Earth's surface with roots that help stabilize the crust. Many Muslims see this as another verse worth reflecting upon. The Qur'an also speaks about two seas meeting while a barrier exists between them. Oceanographers have observed that where bodies of water with different temperatures and salt concentrations meet, they can maintain distinct characteristics before gradually mixing. For believers, this is another reminder of the precision of Allah's creation. Another fascinating verse speaks about iron, and we sent down iron, wherein is great strength and benefits for mankind. Modern astronomy explains that the iron found on Earth was formed inside ancient stars before becoming part of our planet. Iron has become one of the foundations of human civilization, used in buildings, bridges, hospitals, transportation, and countless tools. The Qur'an even mentions fingertips while speaking about resurrection, saying that Allah is able to restore them perfectly. Today, science confirms that every person's fingerprints are unique. No two people have exactly the same pattern, making them one of the most reliable forms of identification. These verses continue to inspire millions of people around the world. Whether someone views them as miracles or as profound invitations to reflect, they encourage us to look carefully at the world around us. Every mountain, every ocean, every human life, and every star in the sky can become a sign for those who seek understanding. But perhaps the greatest miracle of Islam is not a scientific observation. It is the character of Prophet Muhammad. Even those who opposed him called him Al-Amin, meaning the trustworthy. He taught that true success is not measured by wealth or power, but by honesty, mercy, and good character. One day, a young man came to the Prophet and asked for permission to commit a sinful act. The companions were shocked, but the Prophet remained calm. He asked the young man, "Would you like that for your mother?" The man replied, "No." He then asked the same about his daughter, his sister, and his aunt. Each time the answer was no. Instead of insulting him, the Prophet placed his hand on the young man's chest and prayed, "O Allah, forgive his sins, purify his heart, and protect his chastity." The young man later said he never desired that sin again. The Prophet also said, "The strong person is not the one who defeats others in wrestling, but the one who controls himself when angry." He also taught, "Allah does not look at your appearance or your wealth, but at your hearts and your deeds." These teachings remain just as meaningful today. In a world focused on fame, money, and appearance, Islam reminds us that our true value lies in our character, our kindness, and our relationship with Allah. Knowledge is important, but wisdom, compassion, and sincerity are what truly change lives. The Qur'an ends many of its verses by asking people to think, not by forcing them to believe. It invites us to look at the stars that fill the night sky, the rain that brings dead land back to life, the birds that fly without falling, the mountains that stand firm, and the human heart that never stops beating. Every one of these is described as a sign for people who reflect. Throughout history, Muslims made important contributions to mathematics, astronomy, medicine, chemistry, and engineering, because seeking knowledge is encouraged in Islam. The Prophet Muhammad said, "Seeking knowledge is an obligation upon every Muslim." For believers, learning about the universe is another way of appreciating the greatness of its creator. Whether someone accepts these verses as miracles, profound guidance, or simply as invitations to think, one question remains. How did a man living in 7th century Arabia deliver a book that continues to inspire billions of people and encourages reflection on the universe, human life, and morality? Perhaps every sunrise, every heartbeat, every new scientific discovery, and every act of kindness is another reminder to pause, reflect, and remember Allah. The Quran's message has remained unchanged for more than 14 centuries, inviting every generation with the same words: observe, think, seek knowledge, and let your heart search for the truth. The answer ultimately is for each person to discover. Maybe the greatest miracle is not that the Quran mentions the universe, mountains, or the stages of life. Maybe the greatest miracle is that after more than 1,400 years, it still changes hearts. Millions of people from every race, language, and nation recite the same words every day. Thousands memorize the entire Quran, letter by letter, preserving it across generations. The Quran does not ask us to close our eyes. It asks us to open them. It asks us to look at the sky, the earth, ourselves, and everything around us. Then ask, did all of this come from nothing, or does it have a creator? Whether you are a believer or simply curious, take a moment to reflect. Read the Quran with an open mind. Ask questions. Seek knowledge. Search sincerely for the truth. As Allah says in the Quran, "Indeed, in the creation of the heavens and the earth, and the alternation of the night and the day, are signs for people of understanding." Thank you for watching. If this video made you think, share it with someone else. Perhaps it may open another heart, just as knowledge has opened so many throughout history.